1st, 2024. 2024. It's crazy. I was actually thinking back to 1970. I'm not going to tell you what, when I was a very even smaller than I am thing, and thinking about the year 2000 and 2020, and it just seemed ridiculous, like a whole other country, and here we are, and we're in it. We're doing 2024. So the question is, what's it going to be like? Because it's a little bit of a roller coaster ride, isn't it? So we constantly, every year, we say, well, this one's got to be better because it can't get any worse. Famous last words. I'm feeling all right because I'm sitting here with, you can't see, but under my desk, I'm sitting here with my feet on an electrical grounding mat. So we were very inspired by the Earthing movie, I think it's called. Check it out, it's very good. It's on YouTube. Just giving it a punt there. And I sit here at my desk with all this electronica, and I was feeling a bit, struggling a bit, and anyway, got this mat, and I feel very good. I think it's good. So, just saying, Earthing mat. So, our month, January 2024. What's in store for us this month? As is my practice, I've taken the usual 4 cards and I asked what would be the overarching energy for that. What have we got? We've got the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is a nice card, very down to earth card. If we want to distill the Queen of Pentacles down into a word, it would be compromise. As you can see on this card, we have this lovely young woman, and she's sitting at a desk, and she has a potted plant, and she has a laptop, and she has a baby under the desk. So what that tells you about the energy is that she's just doing what needs to be done in a good way. It's very down to earth. It's incredibly practical. That's an important part of the Queen of Pentacles energy. It's very practical. So this month, practicalities, compromises, being down to earth and a bit, just doing the jobs, just getting it done is going to be the main theme. Now, it's not particularly exciting. There's no firebrand energy here. There's no big revelations here. But nevertheless, sometimes it's necessary. And let's be honest, with January, we do have to pick up the slack and just kind of get down and just get on with stuff. Now, the Queen energy in tarot is a supportive energy, and she supports an outcome. Last month's energy reading, we were at the beginning of a new cycle, and that always invites us to decide what it is we want. What is our agenda? What are we heading towards? What outcome do we want to make happen? Our cards always lean into what process can we best adopt in order to make what we want to make happen. Okay? And the Queen of Pentacles is no need to over dramatize anything. Just get it done. It's fine, in a good way. Now, the other thing, you can see there's a baby under the table there, and that's symbolic. Emotions take a back seat. Okay, the baby isn't on her knee. The baby isn't taking up all of her attention. It's being taken care of. It's fine. She's aware. But she's doing what she needs to do, and she's putting her attention on non-emotional matters for the time being. Everything is taken care of. Nothing is there's nothing hard or gritty here, but nevertheless, it is Mummy's busy now. You have to just shh for a minute. You may have to accept some compromises this next month. It may not be exactly the way you want it to be. But it's a work in progress, and that's the point. It's a work in progress. Okay, what's the next card? What shall we embrace this month, which will help us on our journey? And we have the Strength card. Now, the Strength card is one of my favorite cards. I love this card. Here we have our hero standing on higher ground, and he's wearing his black coat. He's no pushover. And he's standing on this mound, he's standing on higher ground, and as we can see, there's all this turbulence and challenge all around him. And he's just standing there, and we can see all these chakras aligned. So he is aligned with his purpose. You see, strength is important if you're being strong for the right reasons. We don't want to be strong just to withstand discomfort because we feel we have to. This is all to a purpose, where we should never endure discomfort just because. We endure discomfort because we've decided that in the name of whatever it is we want to achieve, some discomfort needs to be accepted. It's for a reason. The same reason that the Queen of Pentacles is asking you to make some compromises this month, to put your emotions just to one side, not to squash them or, put them in a cage, but just to put them to one side. You're aware of them, but you're just not going to make them the star of the show in January. So strength is important, but only because it's in alignment with our bigger goals or our, aspirations in some way. Strength for a reason, not for its own sake. So what will challenge that? I always find this one really interesting. Four of Pentacles, another Pentacles card. Very practical energy this month. Very down-to-earth energy. Four of Pentacles. Now you can see from the card we have a guy here who has his arms wrapped round a safe. And the word safe is absolutely front and center in the energy of the Four of Pentacles. Safe. Stay safe. So that's what we want, isn't it? We want to stay safe. And why do we want to stay safe? We want to stay safe because we don't want risk. We don't want challenge. We want to keep things as they are. We want to keep things controllable. We want to maintain the status quo. Now, if we are involved in planning for the future, or we're involved in wanting to make things happen in our lives, we cannot maintain the status quo. We have to be prepared to be strong in alignment with what we want to make happen. And the Four of Pentacles is a very, very cautious card, but it also plays a bit small, doesn't it? Look at the guy. I mean, he doesn't look entirely happy. Now, obviously, this card comes up sometimes as an advice card, in which case it's telling you, take the safe option. Don't take any risks. Hold on to what you've got. Maintain the status quo. Keep everything safe. However, it's not saying that for January. Now, neither is it saying go crazy. It's not saying that either. But it's saying we have to be practical in the name of what it is we want to achieve. It may not be that we're where we want to be. Our finances are perhaps not where we want them to be. Maybe whatever it is, interpersonal relationships are not where we want them to be. And perhaps we do have to compromise a bit. We have to get practical. We just have to deal with it the way it is. But we don't cling to something to just sort of keep it in place. It's a balancing act, isn't it? We need to compromise and have strength for the right reasons. We don't want to just hang on to what we've got and keep things the same for the sake of it. So the only other card that I ask for is, what is the message from Spirit for us for January? How is Spirit guiding us? And we have the Queen of Swords, another one of my favorite cards. So the Queen of Swords. Oh my goodness. I love her. If ever there was a tough love card, it's the Queen of Swords. Look at her. She takes no prisoners. She is about as unsympathetic as it gets to our foibles. So the Queen of Swords, it's all about business. Now it's interesting, isn't it? Because strength is telling us that we need to be prepared to be uncomfortable or to withstand some discomfort in the name of what we want to achieve. And if that is a relationship, what we want to achieve is harmony, don't we? We want to achieve harmony. We want to achieve happiness, basically. We want to be happy. And sometimes we need to compromise in the name of that. Sometimes we need to get practical in the name of that. Now, whatever your version is, it's fine. But certainly our message from Spirit, it's just a bit tough love. Now, the Queen of Swords is very much head over heart, whereas the Queen of Pentacles has the baby under the table. The Queen of Swords has the baby in childcare, probably boarding for a week. So the Queen of Swords tells us, take your emotions out of play, do what you got to do. Sometimes it's gritty. Sometimes it's just not the way we want it. And I think January might feel a little bit gritty, if I'm honest, but we've just got to tough it through. We've got to tough it through, and we've got to be practical. And we've got to put our attention on what needs to be done. Roll up our sleeves and get going with it. While it's not the most sunny, fiery energy that we could wish for, Spirit tells us, stop your whining. You can see this card. Look at this woman. You might say she looks a bit dominatrix. She is quite a dominating force, to be fair. But the message of the card is that it's just business. It's just factual. It just is what it is. We have to deal with it. And whatever it is, get it done. The Queen of Swords is very strategic. And I think this is interesting because it leans into this idea of we're doing it for a purpose. This is not just because that's the way life is, although, there is that in play always, but there is a purpose, there is a strategy that's necessary here. It will be necessary for us to adopt some strength in this thing. It will be necessary for us to perhaps power through a little bit of discomfort because it's for a reason. And the Queen of Swords, being the strategist, is telling us our emotions are probably not going to help us. Good. Well, let's see how this pans out. It's quite interesting. I say this at the end of every video, don't I? Interesting. I find it interesting, but I do find it interesting. I love seeing the energy as it comes up each month and seeing how it changes and moves, because it does change and move. And I like to see how it morphs from the previous month and seeing what the transitions are from month to month. Fascinating stuff. So how this applies to you will be very much down to you. This is obviously an overarching kind of energy. So what the aim of these readings are is for you to take this positively and see how you might apply it in your life in a way that makes sense and is useful. And hopefully it will be. I actually do find it useful in my life. I have come unstuck a few times when I've tried to go against the flow of energy and not been in harmony with it, and it hasn't worked out in the way that I wanted it to, which has also been interesting. I wish you a wonderful new year. I wish you a peaceful and uneventful January. And as we move into the year ahead, let's hope that we can all make things happen in a really good and positive way. With that, I'll leave you. I'm always here for a reading if you need one. And of course, if you enjoy the channel, please do like and subscribe. Leave me a message below. Talk to me. Sometimes it can get a bit lonely making these videos. I would love to have more of your comments, more of your views, and let me know if there's a video you'd like me to make. If you have a question, just ask me. I'll be delighted to answer it in terms of a video. There's also a link down below for this little intuition ebook that I've just finished putting together. So do feel free to grab that as well. In the meantime, I will say goodbye and I will see you soon. Bye bye for now.